Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 23rd. Feeling pretty good about today. We've got an interesting topic to discuss: how to gain leads, how to gain references, some tips on that. We've got a lot of work to do. It's about 8 o'clock right now, so we got exactly a half hour before we have to leave for work, and we still got to do yesterday's vlog to upload today. So let's get into it. So these aren't in any particular order. These are just kind of like brainstorming ideas that I've used in the past. I feel are good practices on how to position yourself to get more referrals, to just put a better impression on your clients. So number one would be first name basis. You want to be on a first name basis with everybody that you can at the event, at the wedding. The reason why this is an important task is because if you're being referred to as the videographer and not Joe or Joe the videographer or whatever, right? If you're not being referred to by name, how is that client going to be able to remember you a week, 2 weeks, a month from now, right? Now, obviously the client will remember you for some time afterwards, because it depends, however long your turnaround time is, they'll remember you, right? But it's the people that your only interaction is going to be on the wedding day. So we're talking about groomsmen, bridesmaids, maid of honor, best man, mother of the bride, father of the groom. Like those people, if you can get on a first name basis with those people, it will drastically improve your opportunity and your chances of getting referrals. The trick that I use is I always say, "Hi, my name's Joe Dotson. I'm the videographer," and they say their name, and they, let's say their name's Chuck. Chuck, it's a pleasure to meet you. Say their name back to them, so that you've heard their name and you're saying their name, you're face to face with them, you can kind of make a connection. That's how I approach names and people, and when I meet people for the first time. And it's not foolproof, but it helps, right? I still find myself thinking like, oh God, what were their names? And if you've got to take a note, right? I mean, obviously you don't go, "What's your name?" Okay. But, you want, have a notepad in your back pocket or whatever that's already filled out, like, the five most important people: groom, bride, bride's mom, groom's mom, because those are probably the two that are the most into it, and then maybe groom and bride's dad or whatever, best man, maid of honor, things like that, and just have a list. And after you do get done talking with them, and they're out of the room or you've left the room, then kind of jot their name down. So, first name basis, that's number one. All right, so we finished the vlog. It's rendering right now, so we're gonna have to go back home for lunch to actually get it uploaded to YouTube. So, looking at probably a 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock upload time. We'll see, but I didn't quite make it in that half-hour window that I was looking for. It took me about 40 minutes, so gotta get that edit time down. It was a longer vlog. It was a 30-minute vlog. Probably should have trimmed it down a little bit more, but there was just some really good information in there. We reviewed Soundstripe and things like that, and went over kind of the basics of what that service and what that platform offers. So definitely check it out. That was yesterday's vlog. Still need to find out what we're gonna vlog about tomorrow. So yeah. And the problem is, it's too late to ask you guys for what you want to see in the vlog, because by the time this goes up tomorrow, I'll have already started vlogging. So yeah, if there's something you guys want to hear about, leave it in the comments and we can definitely talk about it, maybe on Friday Saturday or next week or whatever. So yeah, if there's something videography, business, small business related, if you got questions or whatever, that'd be great. Just leave them in the comments below. All right, so we ran home real quick, got the vlog yesterday's vlog uploaded, so you can check that out. All right, so number two is communication. Communication is going to be important for a couple different reasons, and it's important in a couple different ways. Like, you have your traditional, like, speaking with the bride, speaking with the groom, and presenting yourself in a professional manner and all that, that type of communication, and making sure you're communicating to your bride and groom, where things are in the process, and kind of as far as like answering questions and trying to book the session and things like that. Communication goes a long way there, but it actually doesn't stop with that in that mode, right? There's another mode, like when you're on the wedding day. Communication is important when you're talking to the bride and groom, giving them direction, telling them, like, okay, this is what I want you to do, this is how I want you to react, this is what I want you to accomplish. One of the things I learned very early on was telling your clients, like, okay, give me a big smile, right? That's not genuine, right? You want to communicate to them that, the end result is you want them to smile. But you telling them to smile doesn't necessarily get their smile out, like their natural, their organic smile, right? So if the end result is trying to get them to smile, right? Have them think about the funniest, I need you to think about the funniest thing that happened to you today, right? Or another popular one is, you have like the groom whisper into the bride's ear, like, cereal names in their sexiest voice, right? So Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruit Loops, right? That kind of silly, and that kind of gets the, oh my God, what's happening? That kind of smile, that organic smile. So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. So really, kind of brainstorm ideas on how to communicate those emotions that you're trying to get out of them, without actually saying, okay, I want you to smile. Okay, I want you to be serious. Another part of communication, and a good skill to learn as quickly as possible in communication, is when you are setting expectations during the beginning conversations of your meetings with the client, right? Beginning conversations with your client. Finding out what they're looking for specifically, what their ideas are, and setting the expectation of how you can accomplish those and what you're going to deliver. When you put that stuff, at the forefront of any conversation with any client at the beginning of any relationship, there's nothing but good things can happen, right? So and the thing is, when you have those conversations early on, it kind of sets the client's mind at ease that, okay, this is a professional that knows what he's doing. They have everything under control. I really, this is great. And that's one of the things that they'll take away and give to their friends and family. Like, okay, if you're looking for somebody that's organized, on top of everything, and is great to work with, this is your guy. Tip number 3 is setting expectations. Not only setting expectations, but exceeding those expectations. And you've heard me talk about this before in my past vlogs, where you need to, first off, the very most important thing when it comes to talking to your bride and groom about what you're going to deliver, how the day's going to plan out, what your services are going to be like, is you have to set the expectations. And one of the things that I've learned in the year that I have been working with brides and grooms really kind of revolves around what we talked about yesterday, and that was music licensing. One of the things that people have a hard time understanding is, why can't I have the music that was at my wedding, And I totally get it. I 100% get it. You want the music that you walk down the aisle to. You want the music that your first dance was. You want the music, blah, blah, blah. The problem is that music is owned by someone else. That song is owned by someone else. So setting the expectation that, and I went as far as to put it in my contract. So that way they know I have, I've got a written statement with a signature stating that I don't own the rights to any type of music. If a bride or groom is requesting a certain song in their films, they can request that song. We can attempt to purchase a license to use it, but it's going to come at a cost. So setting those expectations, in that sense, is very important, because obviously, if you don't bring that up at the very beginning, and it's not going to come up until you deliver the final product, and it's going to be awkward. It's going to be really awkward. So setting expectations is super important in that sense, but also setting expectations about how you're going to conduct business. So when you talk to your bride and groom about, okay, so this is the services that I provide. I'm there all day. I'm there for 8 hours. I'm there for 5 hours. I only show up an hour before the wedding, and I only stay an hour into the ceremony after, like, the bouquet toss and things like whatever yours are, whatever your individual like stipulations are, make sure that that's known. Like, that's got to be known. I would recommend, starting out as I have, is don't double book your weddings. Be there early, be there all day, and provide a service that's above and beyond what they're looking for, right? So if they're expecting you to be there at a certain, at 1 o'clock, get there early. Take some established photos. Take the dress out. Get some really creative shots outside with the dress. And then as far as like setting expectations for like delivering service goes, this is something I really have to kind of focus on, because the time when you say you're going to deliver, right? If you say I'm going to deliver this 1 month out, give yourself an extra like week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever, and quote them that. Then that way, when you've finished it, if you're early, you've exceeded those expectations. So setting expectations and then exceeding them. All right, guys, so the last and final tip I've got for you to help you gain those extra referrals and at least put yourself in the running for referrals is professionalism. I know, it's very generic and it's very broad. It's kind of a cop out on this on this top 4 list. But at the end of the day, if you can show a level of professionalism from the beginning of the conversation that you have, even before the bride is your client, all the way to the delivery of your final product. If you can deliver a professional, presentation, dress code, conversation, just carry yourself a certain way. When it comes to like your gear and things like that, making sure that you have the right kit, the right lenses, everything like right at the ready when they're needed. The less time that the bride is waiting on you, the better off you're going to be, the more professional you're going to seem. And this just this can seep into like many different, facets of the whole day and the whole experience from hiring to completion with these projects. When you're reaching out to your clients, before they're even your clients, when you're reaching out to the potential clients and you're having a conversation with them, be conscious of what they're saying and respond to what they're saying, right? You're not just trying to book, another $500 to $1,000 wedding or whatever you're charging. You're not just trying to book them. You're trying to portray and pay homage to someone's life, more so, and even more two people's lives that are coming together. At least in the wedding film world, you're trying to meld these two together, and having some sort of professionalism when it comes to the way you talk and the conversation that you have, and how well you're prepared, and all these things just kind of go into it, and just show that you're not an amateur, that you really do care for the final product. You really do care what the client feels when they see these final films. And it just goes to show you that, if you follow these tips, like these are just kind of like goals, right? These are just kind of like the set guidelines. Obviously you can have, many different takes on these, and, some of these might work for others and some of these might work for me and they might not work for you. But at the end of the day, you have to find your own way. And these are just some of the guides that I've followed in my first year that have gained me business going forward because of the referrals that I'm getting from from last year's brides. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the vlog there. I really do appreciate watching. I hope you like this kind of like tips and tricks and kind of things like that. Let me know in the comments below if you kind of dig these type of lists or whatever. I've got a couple other ideas kind of in my brain ready to kind of put down on paper and put on film. If you like this kind of thing, great. If not, let me know in the comment. This is just kind of generic. I'm not really, obviously people need to know you have to have good conversation. What kind of tip is that? But if you're looking for a little bit more, like if you think maybe I should dive into these a little bit deeper, maybe do like a behind the scenes type of thing, with communication and first impressions and setting expectations and, the whole 9 yards. Maybe I should do one vlog just highlighting just one of those things and going in way deep. Let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious if you think that's a good idea or if it's just blah. So, and that was, if you missed it, blah. All right, guys. So, it's almost 11 o'clock, so we got about another hour of edit time to put on the books. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see. We still want to put this vlog together as well. Try to get a jump start on tomorrow. So let's go ahead and hit back to the computer, get that straightened out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.